Hey. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. What a game. What a morning. What a team. And what a result. Amidst all the negativity, all the issues and stuff that we've had, the flip-flop fans and stuff like that, to be able to come back, and I know it's only one game. I'm very aware of the fact it's only one game. And that we did finish third in the Rugby Championship. But how many times does this team have to respond before we start giving them the respect they deserve? How many times? At least one more is the answer. What a sensational game, though. What an absolute cracker of a performance. And just, kind of emotional after all that. I mean, it's been a very, very tough few weeks, hasn't it? Going back-to-back losses against against Australia, to then losing to New Zealand last weekend, and now to come back and be able to beat New Zealand, especially in that fashion, where we continued having to try and get back into the game, and to do it right in the last minute was fantastic. It really was brilliant, and it's just funny to see the players that did it. You know, France Dane, who I've been quite critical of, not so much as a player, but just in terms of his age, coming on and doing the business. Alton Yankees coming on and doing the business, and all I've got to say, because I've taken a lot of stick from a lot of people, is to all the Alton Yankees haters, where are you? Where are the haters? I'm just blocking them out over here. I'm just sort of sitting here in my bugger to come on, slot a drop goal, try assist, kick the winning penalty. Where are the haters? I can't see them. I'm blocking them out. Sorry, but just can't see the haters there. But genuinely, what a game. And I think that we can all agree that that's the game of the year, isn't it? And just such a contrast, isn't it, in the way the two teams go about their business. Some very, very good open play for attacking from New Zealand, some very good physicality from the box, keeping the ball in hand a lot more than today, which a lot of people have been calling for, and definitely doing it. And I think it's just I think now we need a break, don't we? I think it's the perfect type of result for the time that we are in, because we all need a break. It's been such an emotional few months between, the worry about the Lions series, then winning the Lions series, then going into the Rugby Championship immediately, getting off to a good start against Argentina. People talking about, winning the Rugby Championship. Is this good? Is this one of the best teams we've ever had type thing? Suddenly going down to Australia. People calling for the coaches to be sacked. People saying that players are there on reputation, stuff like that. And then after all that, losing to New Zealand, and by the finals to margins and still having a meltdown about it, we then managed to come back and win like that. So it's really, really good. And I'm very, very happy. And I just think that, we lose this game, and I think that there's a massive meltdown. I think there's a massive reaction. There's just so much pressure on this team. But now I think that we get to really sort of breathe out, and we get to just park the Springbok jersey for a month. We just get to get away from everything and just relax, enjoy some URC, take some time off, and then we'll go again in a month when we get back to international rugby. It's been an incredibly long sort of mid-year season. We've never really seen such a strange season. So it's been very, very taxing on the players, on the fans, I think on the coaches. It's been a bit of a bumpy ride. And from my side, I just want to say thank you, because you guys have blown us from about 2,000 subs to over 8,000. We are now literally chasing 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is ludicrous to even think about. But yeah, so get voting for the player ratings, and we're going to go through them and stuff like that. Very interested to see what people do, because people, when we lose, are incredibly negative. So I'm very interested to see what we then get now. And there's a couple of guys which I think deserve some very highly rated. And I'm going to ask you guys whether I can do it first on this channel. And look, people will probably disagree with me, but I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask it later. But what I want from you now is I want man of the match nominations. We're going to put them in the comments in the poll, and you guys are going to vote on man of the match. So I want nominations. We can do, I think, up to about 5. I think we can do. So who are we talking about? Names that sort of jump out at me are Sia, Eben, France staying off the bench. I think Alton could be up there, to be honest. Very, very nice cameo there. But where we at? I'm seeing a couple of Etzebeth shouts. Obviously, seeing some Khaleesi shouts as well. Where we at? Where we at? Now we'll get your comments. Just a lot of them coming through. I've seen 2 for Dwayne, Damon Dalendi. So I think we can put Dwayne. You can put Dwayne. Put Dwayne was much better today. Was he sort of back to his best? And that turnover right in the end was so clutch, wasn't it? So let's see who we've got here. So who was your man in the match? Who was? I'm not entirely sure how many options we can have. But I think we can all agree that we're going to put in Evan. And I'm seeing a lot of calls for Frans Steyn, which I can back that as well. I'm seeing quite a few calls for obviously Siya Khaleesi, so we're going to chuck him in there as well. Okay, this is our 4th option. So we've got Dwayne. I know we've got Evan Etzebeth, Frans Steyn, Siya Khaleesi. Who else are we putting in there? So we can put in who else can we do? So we can either put in Dwayne Vermeulen or we can put in Alton Yankees. Those are sort of the 2 names that seem to be flying around. A couple people saying Kwagga Smith. I'm just for the pass. I love it. Well, everybody's saying Alton, so we'll put Alton in there. Then fair enough. And don't come in with my bias. That's what everybody wants. That's what people are calling. That's what the people want. As I said, we could have put a lot more people in there, to be honest. So there it is. There is our poll. You can go and vote on that, and we'll visit that towards the end. But I think the fact that we can throw out so many names is sort of testament to just how good that game was and how impressive that these players were today. So credit to them. But so we're gonna start the player ratings. I'm just gonna give a few minutes to go and vote and stuff like that. See, there's still quite a few people. So the link, I'm gonna pin the link as well. I'll pin it as well. Also, if you want to become a member of the channel, then please feel free to. That's the current pinned comment there. But I'm going to replace that with vote for your player rating. Right, so the pinned comment there is the player rating. So go and vote. And then when you go through them now, and I will fight people if they don't give decent ratings, because I think these ratings the last couple of weeks have been a little bit off. So yeah. A couple of comments that people are saying. Let's see what everybody's saying. Chris says, had a blinder. What a player. Etzebeth had an average game. No, mate. I'm sorry, I can't sanction it. Even had an average game. You think of that line-out win, for example, and how big that was. No, I thought Evan was very good today. He's my favorite player of all time. Saz made a huge difference. Hansi says team reserve, only Villiers was really bad again. I actually clicked on Etzebeth, but he had a good game. France 10 out of 10. Alton needs to start. Siya Khaleesi was amazing, but his turnover came right after Villiers gave away a try. Greedy with swings and roundabouts. Talking to Chiefs School. Actually, I wanted to read that comment out. He said, ref was okay. I think some of the calls he made against both teams were questionable. New Zealand got penalties when they shouldn't have, and so did the Boks. Wish this was the 100th way better than last week. It was a really good game. Well, I think last week was pretty entertaining, but this was a much better quality of rugby. Gareth says, are we really just stupid or was it just our egos? Rusty came in needing to do a hospital job, and he proved the miracles do exist, and his recipe was installing self-belief and implicit trust. Where else? So Alton came on with composure, try, assist, drop goal, penalty under pressure. Etzebeth was playing so hard today. Can't decide a man of the match. It is a problem. And Contender says it appeared that my calls for France at 15 over Villiers a month ago. I called the Visa and Vermeulen combo, and today it came to pass. Let's go Springboks. How do we vote? So it's all so just follow the link that's pinned comment. I'll drop it in the chat as well again, so that if you haven't, you can vote there. That's the link to go and vote for the player ratings. Give it a rating between 1 and 10, and then we'll go through and see what everybody reckons. And I just think it's a big relief for the coaching staff who have been under so much pressure. And look, I mean, deservedly so, because people demand success, and they demand a lot from the world champions. And people got very bored about the excuses and stuff like that. But I think that, you know what, this team is so, and I think this team will grow so much from a result like this, you know, to be able to sort of be in such a difficult situation. And to be able to rally like that and be able to put in a performance, be able to leave with a victory is huge for the team spirit, for everything. And as I said, I think now we are very much overdue an emotional break, to just get away from things and just sort of collect ourselves. So yeah, there's still a lot of people. There's a lot of people. Still, we've got 27 people currently voting, so I want to give them a chance to go through it. Yeah, and just sort of reflect on that game. It was very, very interesting that we did try to keep it in hand. We still did kick a couple of times, but I don't think we should have. But the fact that Valerie played poorly again was replaced and made such a big difference will be very interesting to see what happens in the end of year tour. We obviously will go through this all in more detail tomorrow night. We're going to go live and we're going to literally, it's going to be called Where Do We Go From Here? And I'm very, very excited for that. So please do join me tomorrow night, because I think it's going to be a very nice conversation to have about, what we now move on. What do we want to see in the end of the year and stuff? So it should be a really cool chat. We're going to be live a lot more this week. I apologize. I'm really sorry that I haven't been able to do more live shows this week. It just comes down to my work schedule, and I work nights the entire week. So this week we will be live, potentially on Tuesday, but probably definitely on Wednesday, definitely on Thursday. Obviously, then we'll be live Friday, Saturday for URC. We'll be live in about an hour and a half, actually, for Glasgow Warriors versus the Sharks, which should be a lot of fun as well. So, yeah, come keep me company, people. Let's ride the wave. Let's celebrate together. Come and watch Sharks versus Glasgow Warriors later with me. Watch Munster versus Stormers tonight with me as well. We're also going to be crossing over live to the stadium in the Glasgow Warriors game. Carl Usher is there. One of our new presenters is going to be there, and he's going to be giving us some, we're going to be able to sort of chat to him inside the stadium, which I'm really looking forward to. But, so where are we at? Inga says, what game will take my Springboks at the end when we thought that France Day was going to kick? I'm glad we didn't. I think it was on the edge of his range. Gary McCain says, Jacques was faced with a similar problem, and we were the only undercooked top-tier nation going into Alliance Series. Rusty outsmarted Gatton and taking a cheap shot in a difficult time in this world. Solo Corey says, I was cheering for Springboks. They are gracious in defeat. Yeah, I think the Springboks themselves are. I don't think we are supporters. More you guys. I'm not particularly gracious in defeat. I hate losing. The score for Box today, 22-23. Only bad player was Willie Leroux. I think it's time to leave SA for end of year tour. Pollard played better at 12, so kudos to him on his improvement. Well, he is at 12, isn't he? He is at 12. Yeah, that plays at fly half. Evan TSG says, it's my school holidays. What a way to begin my holiday. Yeah, enjoy that. I hate to say it out loud, but Faf was brilliant today. Yeah, defensively, I thought it was very solid. Guido says, the Rugby Championship is not that huge because it comes every year because it was a good game. Denied the All Blacks a Grand Slam. Yeah, that's massive. Feels amazing to be South African right now. France and Alton, new legends. Whole team except Willie were outstanding. Shame, poor Willie. Willie is a good player, but makes costly errors unpredictable. Other teams have figured him out, and so our attack fails. Need something different. We barely have an all-out 15. That's experience. Well, we're going to see one tonight in Warwick Land. I'm hoping that he goes and puts a big showing and to try and come into the end of the year. I know everyone's backing the Fassi shout, but I'd like to see Fassi on the wing and then move to the full back. And I want to see Warwick Land get a run out again because we forget how good he was. But I think it's almost time to start going through the ratings. Stay surprised with his physicality. The fact is puffing all the time. If Alton gets under a 7 today, it's rigged. No, don't worry. He's not getting any of that. You people on crack, I swear you're giving a winning team averages below 7, even 5. Well, we're going to go through that aren't now. We'll maybe find out. Maybe people are on crack. You never know. And if you do, you know what? That's your decision. If you want to do that, enjoy. Shall we do some player ratings? I reckon we should. I reckon it's time. It is time. That's not what I want to do. Is that what I want to do? This is pretty much what I want to do. Right. We're going to start with the front row. And it's almost, I mean, it feels like so long ago that Oxen Chair was even on the park. But I thought he was pretty good. In fact, I thought our starting front row was pretty decent. So let's hope. I mean, what are we thinking about Ox? I think I'm going to try to bring up some stats and stuff. But I thought Scrummers in the first half, they weren't quite as dominant as in the second half. We flipped and murdered them in the second half. But Ox carried pretty nicely when he did have a chance. Didn't have too many scrums in the first half, so it was quite frustrating not to be able to sort of see more from them. But he made 2 carries, he made 5 tackles, he missed 1 tackle. He actually beat a defender as well. I think you'd give Ox a 7. I mean, what do you do wrong, really? It was pretty good. 7.1. We're there. Good start, people. Good start. Loving it. Right. Bongi. Hey, but Bongi's a frustrating one because I think Bongi, we had two bad lineouts, which was really frustrating. He also almost scored a fantastic try. And he also had a couple of decent tackles. I thought Bongi looked, apart from that lineout work, which is frustrating, Bongi looked like the Bongi of old that we've been waiting for. He made 8 tackles, didn't miss a single one, won a turnover as well. His lineout work wasn't brilliant, beat a defender. I mean, I suppose you knock him down to 6 because of those lineouts, but I was very happy with what I saw from Bongi Mbonambi today. I thought he looked a lot better. I think the fact that people are giving him a 5 because otherwise it wouldn't be so low is a little bit harsh. I think it's a 7, but probably not down to a 6 just because of those lineouts. It was frustrating. But I thought it was much better today. Very, very physical. Trieza! My boy. Trevor, I mean, again, we didn't see much from the scrums. So it's difficult to sort of really rank a front ranker. But, I mean, 3 carries from Trevor, 5 tackles made. He didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was very solid. And I would have actually, I'm surprised they took him off so early. So I'm probably also giving a 7 for Trevor. 6.8. Nah, I mean, I don't think there was much between Ox and Trevor. I think they had very similar games. Charlotte Cox says, please compare individual missed tackles to team average. Oh, what is our team average? How many tackles did we miss today? We missed 20 tackles today, and New Zealand missed 12. So you know when people say you can't miss 20 tackles and lose and win a game? Well, we did. Look, I mean, I'm not saying we should advocate to it, but you know, and to be fair, even when there's one try where you look and you think flipping Oaks just didn't tackle. But yeah, so Trev, a couple of people saying 6 or 7. So I think 6.8 is about right for Trev, big Trev. Eben Etzebeth, I'm floating around an 8. Where are we at? 8, maybe a 9 for Eben. I thought he was just very, very good today. I thought he was very abrasive, very physical. 3 carries, 8 tackles, 2 missed, 1 turnover, 1. Won a couple of lineouts as well. So I thought Eben was very, very good. So I'm going with an 8. I'm seeing a couple of people all agreeing with that. So we'll go with Eben with 8 and should see what he sees. 7.1, I think that's harsh. Because the fact that I've gone with an 8 for Etzebeth and it's all the way down to 7.1 means a lot of people are giving him much lower than that. So, yeah, I mean, even a couple of people in the comments said that Eben wasn't very good today. I don't know. Did I just watch a different game? I thought he was fantastic today. I thought that Eben Etzebeth looked a lot better in the last couple of games, and today was one of his sort of big performances. In fact, I thought Lua Tiago was probably worse, to be honest. Not that he was bad, but I thought Eben Etzebeth was the better of the two locks. Lua Tiago got 6 carries, 9 tackles. He always sort of tops the tackle charts. His line work was decent. Didn't steal too many today. So I'm probably going to go with a 7 for Lewitt. He's pretty solid. It wasn't phenomenal, but I think he put a good shift in. So Lewitt 7.2. I'm happy with that. I think, as I said, I think Eben Etzebeth is definitely the better of the two. Captain, my flippin' captain. I mean, can we just talk about Tia Khaleesi? People were literally, and this is what pisses me off. We literally had people calling for him to be dropped in the Lions series. And then there was the quote nonsense that always fucking comes up. And then there was always there's politics involved. I mean, has there been a better player in a Springbok jersey than Tia Khaleesi this year? Has there been? I don't think there has been a better performance from this year. Who has played better than Sia Khaleesi? I think he has been absolutely sensational this year. Just so brutal in the way he's playing at the moment. His work rate is unparalleled. He's everywhere. Massive turnover today after a mistake, making a lot of tackles. So I'm going to go with a 9 for Sia. I just think he's been so good. 7.1. Hey, you haters, take an L when you see it. Take an L. He's been so good today. He's been so good this year. And as I said, for somebody, and people will still question him. They will still question whether he should be there. How can you question it? I don't understand. Another person who is shutting up a lot of people. And I appreciate that. Chiefs Girl saying as a neutral, Khaleesi has been the best Bok this year. Thank you. Can we just also have a shout out of Kwaka Smith, who a lot of people were saying, oh, why is he playing? He's too small, whatever. He was flipping everywhere. Him and Seklisi are at every single. I'd love to find out if anybody knows a site where I can see rucks hit. Please let me know, because a couple of people often drop it. I just don't know where to find it. So does anybody know where I can find rucks hit and stuff like that, attacking and defensive rucks and stuff like that? If I can find the rucks percentages, I would really like to see how many of these two Oaks are hitting. I mean, Quacker Smith, every single time we made a half break or got through something, he was just there. How many offloads did he catch? And like sometimes messy offloads. He's just everywhere. So really impressed with Quacker Smith. We gave Sia a 9. I'm tempted to give Quacker an 8. You know, I mean, flip. I think Joe Moody's still fumbling on the ground trying to find where he is. That little step there. Ew! Can you imagine? Imagine being so obsessed with the size that you're busy giving. I mean, I gave him an 8, and that means a lot of people are giving him down in the 5s, 4s. I mean, who watches that game and goes, yeah, you know what, Quacker Smith not very good today. I'm gonna give him a 5, you know, because shame, you know, he's not flipping 9 foot and 114 kgs, runs the 100 meters in 4 seconds and cures cancer. So therefore, he's getting a 5. I mean, japers, people. Don't worry. And look, what I think we're seeing with Quacker Smith is I think that he won't start every game because Peter Steph Toy is going to come back. But I think he's just such a valuable player off the bench. And I think that he will. And I'm very interested when Dwayne Vermeulen does retire, because people talk about the balance we've got at the moment. So when Dwayne Vermeulen retires, if he doesn't play the next World Cup, do we put Quacker Smith at 8? Because think about what what Dwayne Vermeulen does. You know, the physical side and the line side, you shift off to P. Steph Toy as well as defensively. Breakdown work, you know, you've got Quacker to do it. So it'll be interesting to sort of see. I mean, I know a lot of people rate Jasper Wiese. I worry about his discipline and I worry about his soft skills. But I think it's very interesting. Quacker's making a big statement to sort of stay in the side. So somebody reckons that ESPN's got all the stats like rucks hit and stuff like that, but I don't see it. Am I doing this wrong or something? Is there an app that I'm supposed to be using? Because I don't. When I'm looking at the stats, I'm just seeing meters run, tackles, tries. I'm not seeing rucks hit and stuff like that. I just want to see the rucks hit. I think it's a very cool statistic. Anyway. So where we at? So a couple of people saying I rate for the starter higher than Wiese. Yeah, I think also probably a decent shot. PSF Toy is going to struggle to get back. I mean, look, he's a former World Player of the Year. I don't think he struggles to get back into the side. But you know, where is the question? Because people are putting their hands up, which is good to see. ESPN Scrum. Is ESPN Scrum the app? I just don't know. Because if I could find that, I think that would add quite a lot of value. Yeah, I don't know. I'll find it somewhere eventually. Where are we saying? So Vermeulen per class, carpool, Chief Skill says, did Evan and Marks have to have an HIA after the head clash, or did they just go for a blood bin? Well, Marks stayed on the field, so he didn't even go off. But Evan, I think, was mostly a blood bin. A couple people saying we need to prayers for the end of the year. I don't know. I mean, we can see the Twins. I think there's also a lot of youngsters coming through, which I'm keen to see as well. But Van Stalman comes straight into the bench, went back. In fact, the whole squad needs to play. Yeah, so look, I mean, now Dwayne Vermeulen, I thought a much better game. I mean, Dwayne Vermeulen, I've been a bit worried about him, whether he can still play at this level. And look, to be honest, I don't think today has convinced me that he will be our 8th man for the next World Cup. I still worry about his age and whether he's going to be able to keep it up. But he showed today that he still got it. He definitely still has it. Obviously needs to prove it now at Ulster for a season as well, to sort of just show that he can stay at this level. But yeah, I was good today. I think that Dwayne's putting an 8 for me. 6.8. Oaks are cooked. I don't know if there are sour New Zealand people on here. I don't know if people are just sour and upset. But yeah, I mean, you guys have buckled on a couple of these. A couple of these have you buckled. And I can't wait to piss people off later on as well. Faf de Klerk. I thought Faf was pretty good actually. What are we thinking about Faf? Yeah, I think it was 2 kicks where I didn't really appreciate, but I thought defensively he was very good today. Looked a lot more exciting. Was trying a few things. Was looking to take a half gap. Was looked a little bit more like the Faf of old, where a couple of times he did run with the ball, trying to see where the space was and trying to see if he can open up a defense. So I thought it's the best game of the year for me. And he made 5 tackles, missed just one. He made a couple of important tackles as well. What do we reckon? So Guido says 10 for Faf. I'm seeing a couple of 8s. I'm seeing some 7s. Yeah, I'll probably go with an 8 actually. I thought he was very, very good. 6.4. People are cooked. Shame. Must be tough to be so miserable all the time. Each to their own, I suppose. Each to their own. Gavin McKenzie, 200 words, so limiting to my insight. Stephen, don't worry about Dwayne. He will be managed. He will all step down. He's not where he needs to be. Yeah, I've got no doubt about that. I think the issue comes with if he does step down, when do we make that call? Because we will need people to step up and be able to have the opportunity to solidify their spot and stuff like that. Somebody saying that he rates Renoch more. Yeah, look, Renoch, there's a lot of players that can complain about the game time they've had. They should have more game time. He could be one of them. But, right, Pollard. Where we sit with Pollard? I thought he grew into the game. I thought he started pretty poorly. But once again, missed a crucial tackle and they scored a try. He left 57% kicking success rates. You can't have that. We cannot have 57% kicking success rate from our starting fly half. He also missed 2 tackles and made 3. It's not good enough, is it? It's really not good enough from Pollard. It's becoming a problem. You can't run out as an international quality fly half, leaving 7-8 points out there every time, missing tackles. I think he did grow into the game. He looked better when Alton came on, but we can't be dropping Dale Lindy to accommodate Pollard. So I'm interested. Refresh voting site before you continue. We can, but we can't. If I do, I lose all these. So no, because I want to be able to refer back to them. I don't have to go and re-vote on all of them. Pollard, probably a 6. A generous 6. A generous 6, maybe. Yeah, I think 5.5 is about right, because I was putting between. It's not good enough, is it? It's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. And I think that we need to put him on the bench and tell him that, listen, until you start playing better, until you start proving why you are the best fly half, you're not going to get backed. And guess what? Somebody came onto the field today, didn't miss a single kick, slotted a drop goal, got a try assist, looked pretty solid defensively as well, give him his credit. Made one mistake from the kickoff. But when your reserve fly half finally gets a chance and he drops that sort of performance, the only start he got a try assist. I think he had 85% kicking success rate and looked really good. So it's frustrating because at the end of the day, you can't lie. Alton Yankees is playing good rugby at the moment. Andre Pollard is not playing good rugby at the moment. So drop him down to the bench and tell him he needs to win it back. And he can go back to Montpellier and play his way back into the side. That's fine. That's what we want him to do. But you've got to understand that your place is not permanent, that you have to fight for the jersey. That's what Sia Khaleesi said yesterday in very, very passionate response. That, it's the jersey, it's the nation, it's the people that come first. So, and within that, you need to name it, and that needs to be the attitude. You can't always have the jersey. If you're not good enough, you can be dropped. And I think he does need to be dropped, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll see. The Boks have so many good kickers. Why don't they do what New Zealand does and give someone else kicking duty, so then take the pressure off Pollard? Well, not really in the starting lineup. Faf de Klerk has kicked for Pollard, but he's not a brilliant goal kicker. And yeah, nobody else really kicks. Where are we at? Alton, one warm day doesn't summer make. Oh, dude, don't come with that though. Come now. You can't hate on the guy who's been on the fringes, and he comes on and does that. He was very good against Argentina. He had a very good game against the Bulls in that SAA game. He's playing good rugby at the moment. You can't deny it. Cannot deny it. Altman's looked good every time he's been on the parks as the Preso Pollard is a world-class 12. I've always said he plays like a 12, to be fair. We kind of know this, don't we? When Faf joined the Lions and they played the Sharks, whom I support, he was the single most dangerous guy in the Super Rugby, in my view, and that as that DNA won't be forgotten. No, he won't. He just needs to give the freedom to do it. Yeah, so Marcus Pimpy, he scored a try today. He got a little bit more opportunity, didn't he? And look, I think it was also a moment where Pollard could have played him in. It would have been risky in terms of being in our own half, but I think he did have the chance to potentially do it. Where are we sitting with Makazola? He didn't make a single tackle. It wasn't phenomenal today, was Mapimpi. So I'll give him a 6 on his performance. You then get a point if you score a try. It's just how it works, you know. I don't write the rules. I mean, I do, but I don't write the rules. So you get a 6 for your performance, Makazola. You scored a try, so you get a 7. 6.4. I think it's a bit harsh, but Damien, my boy. This is the Damien that we've been waiting to see today. Brutal. He got around. He got it in between Havili and Bowden Bat very nicely. Looked much better today to Damien Delinde. He looked like the world-class center we have. Made 2 clean breaks, scored a try, tackle success rate of 71%. He made 5, missed 2, beat 1 defender, 47 meters gained. Yeah, very, very solid. I mean, 7 on performance. Once again, you score a try, you get up to an 8 for Damien Delinde. Take an 8, Dukes. Take an 8. People are so sour. Listen, I don't have time for miserable people on the stream. If you want to be miserable, sick. Get out of here. Locanyo with the moment of the year. Like it actually should be outlawed. To be honest, if I'm World Rugby, I'm bringing in rules to outlaw that offload. You can't. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. I mean, if that was Bowden Barrett, we would never hear the end of it. Locanyo was terrific today. Really, I mean, some very nice carries from him. That offload was oof. Just replayed it in my mind. It was just so good. It wasn't even just like an out the back. He literally flung it around with pace to Spoon Corsi. Yeah, look, I reckon we're sitting at an 8 or 9. A lot of people's calling for a 9 for I can back the shot. Let's give a 9 to Locanyo 6.8. Lol. People are sour. People are upset with life. Shame. You know what? Just do you guys need a hug? Does anybody need a hug? Do we need a beer? What's the story? You know. But yeah, look, you guys each to their own. Look, I think if we do refresh and go through, then they probably might have changed a little bit, but not too much. I mean, over 70 people had voted by the time I started doing them, so it should be relatively accurate. Spoon Corsi, I thought it was a very typical Spoon Corsi in a Springbok jersey game. Didn't have too much chance with ball in hand. Did get a try assist. And I thought it was actually a decent try assist because I thought he did delay the pass pretty well. He chased up pretty hard and he worked very hard. And I think probably a 7 for Spoo. And I think it's a shame for it. Oh, and a very good point, Makesh. That try-saving tackle. Now that I think about that, that was actually flipping. Yeah, we lose that game. I do think we lose that game if he misses that tackle. So yeah, 7 for him. 7 for him. Good stuff, Spoo. Appreciate your efforts. Nope, not a 6. Should be a 7. Should be a 7. Make it a 7. Make it a 7. That try-saving tackle was very, very important in the context of the game. They were all over us, running in. I think they'd already run 2 or 3 tries, and then he makes that tackle right there. As I said, I think if he doesn't make that tackle, I genuinely do think we lose that game. Because I think they would have had all the momentum. So, right. Shame. Poor Billy. Shame. He's just such a nice guy. It's just so hard to not be happy with him because he's such a nice guy. But he wasn't good today at all. So we've got to be fair. And I'm sitting at around a 3. I mean, maybe even a 2, you know. Just wasn't his day, was it? And I think it's time. I think it is time. It's time we move on. Get Warwick Khalan back into the side. And see what happens. I'm gonna give him a 3. I don't have it in me to bring it down to a 2. Yeah, in fact, no, maybe 2. Let's see where we're at. 4.7. Well, I mean, look, it's below a 5. It's definitely the lowest score by far, but it is amusing that he's getting a 4.7. Spoon Course is getting a 6, so it's only 1.3 more. Yeah, it does make me laugh a little bit, a little bit of a chuckle. Right, and then we move on to the bench. Malcolm Marx, I thought. I mean, cheaper. I mean, I actually really like Malcolm Marx coming off the bench because week in, week out, he just makes such a big difference. He is so class. We know he's a better hooker than Mongi Manambi, and that's no shame on Mongi Manambi. We're talking about what could be the best hooker in the world. He's just so good. His breakdown work, his lineouts have been sorted out. I don't think he's missed a lineout the entire game. He's just a different level, and he dropped off form in the World Cup, and he lost the starting position. And I think, to be honest, this Mbanambi Marks combination is so solid, and a lot of people saying why doesn't he start? But I like seeing Malcolm Marks on the field in the 75th minute. I think it's what we need. So I'm loving it. See, I don't think he needs to start. I think I'm very happy because he came on the 38th minute anyway. So he played 42 minutes. He played more minutes than Mongi and Manambi. I like seeing him at the end there. I really do like it. So Malcolm's gonna get an 8 for me. Very, very good off the bench. 7.2. Yeah. Stephen Kitsoff scrummed. I mean, him and Vincent Koch. Vincent Koch made a couple of mistakes, so I'll mark him down. But I thought Stephen Kitsoff with the scrum was stupidly powerful. I mean, they were just abusing New Zealand towards the end of it. Stephen Kitsoff. By the way, I think Malcolm Marks made about 5 tackles, 3 carries, 6 tackles, didn't miss a single one, turnover 1. What more do you want from a man? Stephen Kitsoff, 2 carries, 5 tackles, missed 1 tackle. Scrums was very, very good. So Stephen Kitsoff, I'll probably give Stephen Kitsoff an 8 because I thought those scrums were very impressive. We should have probably had eyeball, dude. I mean, what? Because he's ginger. What is the chat there? Because surely it's not on his performance. Vincent Koch, I'm going to mark down because he knocked on a few times and conceded a penalty, a really silly penalty as well. So I'll give Koch a 7 because he did scrum very well. So we'll give Vincent Koch a 7. I mean, I don't know how you rating Stephen Kitsoff lower than Vincent Koch. Shame, more spicy plum. Franco, shame. He's my favorite player, but one of my favorite players. But he's just not. He just hasn't had a good couple of games. Was not good again today. You can see the stupid penalty. Got isolated with the pick up and go. Line of work was fine. I'll probably give Franco a 4. Yeah, I think it's a bit hard to be honest. He's not. He just hasn't had a good 2 games, which is ironic because I think that before the last week's game, I think Franco Mostert is up there with one of our best players this year. But he has dropped off a little bit. Maybe 4 is a bit harsh. In fact, I'm actually going to change it to a 5 because lineup works solid. So 6.6. You know what? He needs a break though. Sit him back and send him to the beach. And he's not even allowed to walk to the beach. His girlfriend must carry him to the beach. You must put him in a wheelchair and just he shouldn't even like breathe too quickly. He just needs to chill because he's worked flipping hard this year. And he's Jasper Wiese. I actually, to be honest, the more I see about Jasper Wiese, the more I don't think we need to see him in the team. I understand that he's a wrecking ball and he runs hard, but he's just. I mean, he almost slipped and dove over a ruck right in front of the poles in the last sort of 5 minutes. So I don't really see as much value in him as we could, to be honest. So Jasper's probably going to get 5. I mean, look, he didn't do anything wrong. 2 carries, 4 tackles. He's just disciplined. I don't know. I don't know if it's just you can't stop doing it, but yeah, he gives me anxiety when I watch him because he just does silly things sometimes. 6 is about right. Herschel Yankees. I don't think Herschel actually played too badly. I thought his kicking game was pretty decent. I'm interested to see what people say. What do you reckon about Herschel? What do we reckon about Herschel? I'd like to see him get more opportunity, to be honest. I'd like to see him get a couple of starts, or at least give him like half an hour. We just don't see enough of hhim, and he's a very exciting scrum half who started looking towards his best just before the Lions tour. So I'll probably give Herschel a 7. I thought he was pretty solid. 5.9. I think it's very harsh on him. I thought he was much better than that. I'd like to see more of him. Right? Can I be controversial? Are we in for the controversy? Are we in for it? Do I dare do the unspoken? I mean, do I dare do it? I mean, it's tempting, isn't it? It's just so tempting. Well, let's see. He came on the field, and for how many? He came on the field for 33 minutes. In that time, he scored 9 points, 100% kicking success, made 4 tackles, missed 1, got a try assist as well. I'm going to do it, people. I'm doing it. You know why I'm doing it? Not necessarily because I think his game was 10 out of 10. This is a guy who every single week has to wake up and prove somebody wrong. And a lot of people still going to say, even when Pollard is playing badly, still don't back the shot. And I thought he came on and he did everything you would have wanted. I mean, that drop kick. I mean, you have people saying that drop kick costed us. No, I'm sorry. He did not cost us. That drop kick was flipping ridiculous. You know, I mean, the penalty, right in front of the poles on the 10 points, but that drop goal was proper BMT stuff there. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to give the first ever 10 on Forever Sports, and the haters, and I'm going to say it, a lot of the racists as well, because it always seems to come into seeing Alton Yankees. You talk about this haircut and shit like that. Take a hike, because Alton Yankees won us the game today with that drop goal. I genuinely do think. I think that he did change the game, and I'm going to give another 10. Another 10 is coming Frans Steyn's way, and I'll be the first to say that I didn't want to see Frans Steyn around the setup. Nothing to do with his ability. Everything to do with the fact that we all know that his legs are gone. So I don't see a long-term future for Frans Steyn, unfortunately, because he's a phenomenal player. But today, Francois Steyn, flip and take your 10, boy. Take it. Enjoy it. 7 is a joke. But yes, you know what? If people get off on that, people get off on that. We're all talking about it in the comments, so we all know what we're saying. The team won the game. Say, oh, dude, come on. Just give someone a bit of credit for once. Just for once. Obviously, we know the team won. What have you been giving all the players? We know the team won the game today. But this guy, every single time he comes on, has half a country doubting his ability and slamming him for reasons that are unfounded. And he came on today, had the BMT, slotted a drop goal, did everything right, get in the performance. That deserves a lot of gut, and he's continued to do it. Massive performance from him. Massive performance from the massive Frans Steyn. Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, we'll take it. Those two, I think, were really, really good. They did change the game. I think there's no doubt about it. As people said, you know, Andre Pollard looked a lot better when he operated at 12. So I'd like to see Alton start in the first test in the India tour. I think he deserves it. I think Frans Steyn on the bench we can continue to do, except that I just don't see the long-term future. That's my only issue. Literally, it's got nothing to do with ability, but we all know that these legs, unfortunately, are not going to make the next World Cup. So, do we stick with him? You know, look, I mean, we know that boot is flipping irreplaceable. Look, try and get him into I'd like to see him in a URC side and see if he can still play. I think that's a bit of a problem, the fact that he's going to be going back to the Cheetahs and we won't see him after the end of the tour. So I think he needs to make that move and prove it. But I do worry about if his legs are there. It's interesting times here for Frans Steyn. Look, you can keep him around the squad. You know, we are having people who are sort of in a mentorship role. So I think that Villiers Leroux and Frans Steyn have got a lot of experience to hand down to people. But yeah, I also just think that unfortunately, I just don't think he makes the next World Cup. And as a result of that, I wouldn't like to see him at the end of the tour. I'll just start making some changes. Where are we at, though? Where are we at? Albert here, this guy's no clue what he's talking about. No, I don't. I really don't. I actually didn't even watch the game, to be honest. I'm doing this all just for shits and giggles. I actually learned today that you can't pass the ball forward, and yeah, still learning. So apologies for not knowing more about the game. We can head over to your channel and have a look as well to see how it's done, and you can inform us and educate us. But if you don't want to do that, then we'll just sit here and chat rugby, shall we? But each to their own. You're allowed to have an opinion. It's fine. You could say I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't. But we're having fun anyway, aren't we? We have Fassi and Galant now. You should coach them. Agreed. Stain is the perfect mentor for Willemse. Yeah, I like that shout. We need Fassi or Willemse to get some game time. And Galant, people, let's not forget about him. Jordan Henderson will place that boot soon. Yeah, he's got a big boot. Yeesh. Stain and Alton blew me away today, says Eddie. I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch both tests. That Bok versus All Black was awesome. Old Miltonian. Oh, there we go. Cohen Bosch isn't a well-liked player. Oh, we've got a new member, by the way. So I've just seen that now. And where's he gone? Well, welcome, Bongani. He's the latest member to the Forever Sports Club. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Members Club. Francie can make the next World Cup. He just needs to change his diet. Maybe he'll have a stint at the Sharks like Pinoy. I hope so. Stain looks like he's been enjoying some more briars. He made a good tackle. No, he was good today. He was phenomenal today. He really was. It's just whether he can make it to the next World Cup. Maybe he can, but I think it is a bit of a step too far. We need more 10s. Jordan Henderson, maybe. Yeah, we'll start seeing 10s come through. We've got a lot of young ones. Hansi reckons we don't need mentors on the team. It's an experienced side. I always love a good mentor. France is slow, but at least he was a safe option today. I think France still has legs. Let's see. Box players too old. Need to use autumn. I mean, I wouldn't say we're that old. Come on, relax. We're not that old. You also time along with a short break. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up because I'm going live in about half an hour for the Sharks game. So who's joining me? Who's back here for the Sharks game? Let me know in the comments. Who's coming in for the Sharks? And we're going to see Sharks versus the Glasgow Warriors. And I might upset a few people because I actually really like the Glasgow Warriors. I thought they played very nice rugby last week. So I'm very excited to see them again. So yeah, who's joining me? Who's coming in? Let me know. Let me know if you're going to come join me in half an hour. This stream will take you to the link. So you can go and set a reminder on the link for the game. It will be live. And about literally, not half an hour, about 40 minutes. 40 minutes will be live. Yeah, last thing we're going to do is our official man of the match. So the Forever Sports, we need a sponsor, don't we? We need like a today's man of the match is brought to you by Tesla. Maybe Elon Musk can jump in. But it's a very close poll. Well, 651 of you people have voted. And today's man of the match, Springbok winning captain, CM Thanda Kolisi, wins it with 41%. Is it 41%? Where's my... Now it's taking a while to load. Hey, operate. Yeah, with 34% of the votes. Eben Etzebeth in second place with 23%. France Day in 22%. And Alton Yankees with 20%. It's almost... I don't think we've ever had so many people vote for that. It looks like a couple of people are going to come join us for the Sharks game, which would be a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys all then. Until then, you guys keep very, very well. Obviously, we'll also be live for the Stormers game tonight, so make sure you come through for that as well. And then we'll be live tonight and then be live tomorrow to do our usual, just relax and sort of debate about what's going on ahead. Please do smash like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel as well. We're way past 8,000. We're now on the road to 9,000, which is very, very exciting. And no more Springboks rugby for a month. I think the next game is on the 7th of November. So a bit of a break for us, but we'll manage. We'll see you guys in about 35 minutes. Thank you very much.